my beard shaking.
Good morning,
Yeah.
everyone. Ooh,
Good morning.
fancy.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome
I like the way your voice sounds.
to the ADHD Gamer.
ADHD gamer.
God, we got to get better at this intro shit.
I really gotta stop doing finger guns. That's what.
Yeah. I like your finger.
Ah!
I like your finger guns. You kind of remind me of
A shitty salesman.
No, I'm thinking. Well, yeah, that too. But I was thinking more of. Oh man, I can't think. Shooter McGavin.
Shooter McGavin.
I had to think about his name.
if you if you're listening to the podcast, you see I just did the finger guns and then held them up to my face and blew out the barrels.
Yeah.
Before we get fully into this, guys, if we'd love it if you downloaded the podcast, give us a little rating on Facebook, give us a rating on all our hosts and stuff like that.
Mainly iTunes.
Yeah, mainly iTunes. So iTunes podcast, whatever. Give us a little like, give us a little subscribe, or even a awesome 5-star rating would be
give us
great.
The more ratings we get, it'll move us up into a conversation of they have an area of new and networthy, and that will bring us up into that rating, which might get more people to look at us, which means we might even be able to do more stuff later on. So
let's go ahead and tell them what we're doing next week.
Oh, wonderful! Well, let's tell them about the old gummy.
The old gummy. So if you haven't seen on our Facebook page, I found this little gummy at what is it? 900,000 Scoville units?
9 million Scoville rating.
9 million Scoville.
900 jalapenos.
So we're going to do a spicy challenge and take this dang gummy bear and see who survives.
I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna bitch out, but I'm not going to survive. I don't do well with spicy shit.
What are the rules on this? Like, we gotta chew on it for at least 30 seconds, I would think.
I feel like you have to swallow it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to swallow it. But I would say you have to chew on it for at least 15 to 30 seconds.
You can't just pop it in and swallow it.
Yeah, you can't. It's not
that
like
makes no sense.
Pill. No.
The heat comes in the middle.
Yeah, people want you to suffer. So
and the bad part about it was when you sent it to me, I watched the video and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be bad."
I mean, I've got a high tolerance for spice, but
I don't.
We'll see.
Buffalo chicken sauce burns me up sometimes.
Buffalo chicken sauce. Hey, no shit. I went into Pepper Palace, if you know what that is. It's a hot sauce chain. Like, they just have every hot sauce from like around the world, and they have one is the worst thing, and they have it's a spice challenge. It's called The End, and then it has a big it's the black box says The End, and on the back it has a little story.
Yeah, don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It sounds like the end of my life.
No shit, that's exactly how I felt. And I've got a high tolerance. I told them, they gave me that little spoon. I'm like, nah, fill that motherfucker up. The guy next to me had like a little pinprick on his, and we just took it at the same time. I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna lie, that's high. That's high, but I'm good. And I walked out of there. I got a little bit of a sweat, but that wasn't it. Where this other guy is just dying, screaming. He's like, "This is why would you give that to people? It's so terrible." And we walked out, and then I just felt something like hit me like a lead fucking balloon right inside my stomach. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I shit you not, every 5 feet I doubled over in pain because there was so much gas and terrible shit going on in my stomach that there was nothing I could do.
Man, when we went to Mexico on a cruise, there was they had a tequila tasting excursion off the ship. And along with that, there was hot sauce tasting, and so that's the real shit down there. And you know how Mexicans are. They're spiced, like they're spiced. That's what they love. And so, man, some of them bitches were like, "Hey, I need you to sign this waiver." Man, anything I gotta sign a waiver for, I don't want. If I gotta sign a waiver saying I'm probably going to the hospital, I don't want it. I don't want this. So yeah, that's crazy. I can't do spice like that, man. Spices, I can do it like to a certain extent. Like I just got to where I can eat certain things. Like I've just got to where I can eat habanero stuff.
Mhm.
So it's coming to me. It's just like, man, it's I can't do spice like that. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna do it. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna
Mhm.
punk out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I have a buddy
I'm gonna
who when you talk about tacos, I have a buddy who's Mexican. And he's like, when you go to the taco truck and that you have two choices, you got rojo and verde, the green, red and the
do
green
red and green.
salsa, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, the green is what we give babies. I'm like, and Americans. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Thanks for putting
well,
us in
I
that.
like the red. He's like, that's even watered down, buddy. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm a man, damn it.
And see, the problem is when I eat, every taco truck has its own thing. So green might be
Yeah.
spicy, red might be spicy. You never know which one. It pisses me off because I wish they had a color code system. Oh God, did you just spill your drink?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not. It,
ooh,
uh, yeah, nothing's on the floor. There's no mess at all.
I'm
Anyway,
telling you, Sam.
well, what's she gonna do to me?
I mean, sure, there's something. And don't act like you're gonna drink something after you just spilled it. There's nothing in that cup. Oh my God! All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's not going to be really, once again, for some reason, we're not having a lot of news. There's a little bit for us to talk about, not much.
we're very shy from E3 right now, so
Yeah, still, and you know what? Usually the first week's the worst, and then there wasn't that much, but then now we're getting into the non-news features. So hopefully we'll have a lot more in the next couple weeks. And also, you have to remember that we're at the end of a generation, so that's a generational gap of news as well.
well, we got some
Um,
good stuff though, so I
yeah,
ain't worried about it. So
we got some good stuff and some stuff I'm interested in. Um, so Attack on Titan season 4. They talked about how the last season is going to be fall of 2020. Is this I mean we discussed before you haven't seen season 3 yet, neither have I.
mhm.
Um how are you feeling about it being the last season? I mean, I can give my insights on it. You might not
it
agree.
I was so like put off. I felt like the third season was took forever to
I
fucking
agree.
come.
I
And
agree.
so when it came, I like watched the first episode. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? This is really weird. And I honestly I just put it down after that and haven't gone back to it. And I want to watch it. I just people say it's great. Just like there's a weird ape man,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know.
I had to go back and watch a synopsis of season 1 and season 2
Yeah.
on YouTube. That way I could understand what was going on in season 3. And the first I watched like 3 episodes in, and the first 3 episodes I was like, okay, I can get this, and it was all right. So I'm gonna go back and finish it here pretty soon. I might actually do that this week. So the last season of that'll be launching in fall 2020, which I will say I'm okay with it being 4 seasons long. I mean,
Mhm.
animes don't go well. I can't say animes don't because some do, but I mean,
Well, I mean, I guess that's like any television show or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah. I mean,
But
it
animes typically are a little
they're
more short.
right. I mean, it's just like any kind of I can't say cartoon season because SpongeBob went forever, but I mean, it is. I don't really know even know how you categorize those as seasons, but the
Well, outside of AAA titles like, or well, you know what I mean, like
yeah, I know.
Dragon Ball Z and My
Yeah.
Hero Academia, like they don't last that long. Maybe a season, maybe
Yeah, I
two.
was to say like things like One Piece and stuff. One Piece got what 800 episodes, 700 episodes, something
Yeah.
like that.
Or
I mean,
Naruto got
yeah,
like 900.
Bleach has a shitload as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, there's that, and I will most likely watch it. I'm gonna watch season 3 this week, and I'll get
Mhm.
back and I'll throw some thoughts in on that possibly next week. Um, the Witcher TV series. I guess we'll just go with we're gonna go into a segment. This segment is gonna be called "What You Watching."
What you watch? I'm glad
I
you
have
talked to me
literally
about this beforehand.
I did not because I have literally been walking around at work all week thinking about segment names, trying to take these into segments. I've literally been walking around and I can't bring because the CADcast, which is cheap ass gamer, they have a segment of watching stuff or what you've watched or news about stuff that's called Watch This Bitches. And I was like, oh God, that's a good name. I need to find a good name like that because it makes more sense. And I can't find a good name in my head for this, so I have to come up with a good name. So that will not be the segment name, by the way, but I will find one. So anyway, this is
Hashtag temporary.
temporary. Well, okay. So we'll go into we're gonna go into a little segment of just stuff that is coming out. I really haven't watched anything. I'm not sure about you. I haven't, for some reason I have put a lot of watching stuff off, but I might watch, like I said, I might watch Attack on Titan season 3 this week. But so the Witcher TV series is gonna be coming to Netflix. We've seen pictures before. We've seen pictures of Legolas on the thing. I'm sorry, of Geralt, but looks a shitload like Legolas in these pictures. I mean, they made Henry Cavill. He is probably, I will say, out of all the stuff I've seen so far, is the least appealing of the whole show. From what I've heard, I don't think you're too fond to the Witcher series. I told you guys last week I've been playing the first game, and I beat the first game. Finally, the combat system was, oh my God, shitty. It was, the story was great. The area was great for the time being, for like the 2001, 2002, 2003 range, but the combat system was so shitty. So now I'm into Witcher 2, and then I'm gonna hop into Witcher 3. But
I played Witcher 3. It's a
did you?
good game. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Witcher series, so it's supposed to be based on what happens in the books, is from what I've read, because the games are after the books. So Witcher 1 takes place directly after the last book, but the problem was the last book was made at that point in 1999, so it took place in after 1999. Well, the dude, the I forgot his name. He's Polish, I believe, but he released a new book in 2013. So it's like, oh shit. So, which I think that led into Witcher 3. So this is supposed to be the book series before the games came out. It's supposed to be what it's about because it's Geralt's story.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Right, and so we're waiting on that. We'll see how that's gonna go. I'm ready to watch it. I'm going to watch it. Hopefully I thoroughly enjoy it.
Only thing I don't like is Henry Cavill doesn't look
I
as
agree.
rugged enough. He just
God,
doesn't.
when they
can
announced
argue
that,
he's younger, but still, it's not.
when they announced that, dude, I was like, why Henry Cavill?
I thought the same thing.
Like, out of everybody you could have picked, which don't get me wrong, I can't sit here and think about somebody who I'd want as Geralt, but
no,
Henry Cavill.
I mean, I can, but
Idris Elba.
I was actually thinking, damn it, I can't even think of his name right now. Old guy, from the ranch, and he's from
Sam
Elliott. Yep.
Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott's too old for that.
I know, but he'd be a great old girl.
He would. I agree.
Yeah. I think even him in his younger days would be pretty jam up. So
I'm trying to think of anybody that I could go that, because I mean, Henry Cavill makes some sense when I look at him, but he looks so much like Legolas. Like it's hard to, because like as soon as I seen that first picture, I was like, God, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably.
He's got a baby face, man, and
he does.
Yeah, they can.
And Geralt's very rugged in his facial features, and his beard and his scar, and everything's there. I don't even know if I need to see if they've announced who's playing Triss and all of the other. Let me see. The Witcher. Talk amongst yourself real quick. Here, I'll tell you what. We'll go ahead and talk about the Bond feature that you went into. Why don't you tell me about the Bond feature by Idris Elba?
Well, okay. So I saw something on Facebook the other day. It was from Idris Elba, basically saying that he's gotten a lot of backlash from the rumors that he might be the new Bond. And, well, obviously racism, you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, I haven't seen anything like that on Facebook. Actually, I've seen like hella positive. No, but really positive
I want him.
comments about it.
I
I
want him as
want it.
Bond.
Like that would be fucking great. Idris Elba's a badass, like a badass motherfucker.
I agree.
And I don't see anybody having a leg to stand on with changing him or changing Bond to be black because there's a new Bond all the fucking time. Bond is just a code name. That's 007 James Bond. It's the title they give to the best spy that they have.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's not just the
he could be
name.
black Indian,
Yeah.
fucking purple ass alien. Nobody gives a fucking shit. And I don't think anybody really gives a shit except for like some KKK motherfucker or whatever.
Or just people that love Bond altogether for some
Yeah,
reason they don't think it's a good look without actually like looking at it. And I mean, people, you can have your own
and
opinion. That's fine. I mean,
and trolls,
yeah. I mean,
fucking trolls.
I mean, look what's happening with the look what's happening with, with Hal Bailey as going as Little Mermaid. I mean,
Yeah,
people are just stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that okay, when I watched Little Mermaid as a kid, or I watched Bond as a kid, Bond was white and then Little Mermaid was white. Yes, I understand that Ariel was white back in the day.
mm,
Yes, but we also have to look at this. I don't know if this is the case. I don't know if you can say this for Bond, but I know you can. Well, I know you can say it for Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was made in 30s and 40s. Of course, she's going to be white.
yeah, no shit.
Back then there was stupid stuff going on.
Mm,
I think we discussed this before. Hal Bailey being a kind of R&B singer, kind of
yeah,
because she
and
was in a group.
that's really
That's what
good.
she needs.
Yeah, they don't listen, and I don't. I know some people out there probably saw Beauty and the Beast and they loved it, but one of the worst things to me was Emma Watts' performance. And not that she's a terrible actor, but she doesn't sing up to par to what that role needed. And this was any live action Disney movie. This is where I'm at nowadays. I don't give a fuck what you look like.
Yeah.
Just you know, sing really good,
I
and
like
that's the basis of all Disney movies
and
for the most part.
I liked Beauty and the Beast, and my wife liked Beauty and the Beast, and it was just I don't that I didn't have a problem with. Like there's like as long as when this comes out, if she sings and it goes good, like Aladdin was actually really fun, really good, and people loved it, and
Oh yeah,
people hate
all their voices were really good.
right, and people hated on it, and they thought it was going to be horrible. And I mean, I can understand why. The main fact of Will being the genie and all that, but all these live action Disney movies. I mean, I hate to tell you, and the more and more they come out, they're
Yeah.
going to be just like this. I mean, they're going to be skeptical up until the day of, and then when you see them, it's like, okay, that wasn't that bad. Like Lion King coming out.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't wait to see what Donald Glover does with Simba's character.
You,
I am
you know
ready to
what?
hear it.
The people they picked for Timon, Pumbaa, and
Oh,
Zazu.
they got who they got? Seth Rogen. They got Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Who was
That
he's Pumbaa. Who's
yeah,
Timon?
though that I don't know how to describe him what he's in, but he's that like kind of really flamboyant gay guy. He's not even super
Oh,
flamboyant.
Josh Gad. Is it Josh Gad?
No, he's kind of like aggressive. He kind of yells at people in a weird tone of voice, and I can't think of what he's been on,
Nick
but I'm
Swartzen.
sure he can. No, it's like Nick Schwartzen. I think he's played with Nick Schwartz.
Billy Eichner.
Yeah, if you look at his picture, he's like I don't even know how
I
to
know
describe him.
exactly who this is.
Yeah, he's got a very like aggressive sounding
He,
voice.
I
He's
know
in
he was in
Parks and Rec.
I know
Yeah,
exactly who this
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, I like that idea.
God,
Uh,
what did he do on Parks and Rec?
he's he was the dude that came in at the end
It's like a hairstylist or something.
when they merged the two towns. When they
Oh,
merged the two towns, he came in at the end, and he was working in the Parks and Rec office, and he just yelled at people all the time. What was his name? Hold on.
I don't know.
Now I have to know.
He was in it too as well before, but then he just started yelling at Buddy, and that was amazing. I
Oh,
love
that's
the way
hilarious.
he makes fun of people.
Okay,
And then that stuck up guy is playing Zazu.
we got Donald Glover singing Beyonce as Nala, which I'm okay with because that's a singing role, and Beyonce's solid for that. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, Billy Eichner as Timon, John Oliver as Zazu. Who's John Oliver?
John Oliver. He's that like British guy. Looks very like weak in the face.
He looks very pedophilish in the face.
He does. He
Um,
does.
Let me see that we also have, I guess, Michael Keys, Keegan Michael Keys supposed to be in it, and then Eric Andre is going to be in it. Is he? Oh, cool. All right, awesome. So, um, yeah, so I'm waiting on Lion King. Lion King's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be rather good. The problem is such an influential series with some kids. Like I know a lot of people that's their favorite movie. Mine was Aladdin, and I still haven't fucking seen Aladdin. Um,
Everybody is going to have an issue. Well, people are going to have issues because
with everything.
you're just changing their childhood, and that makes people lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a lot of people are necessarily upset just because she's black. As far as the Halle Bailey thing, I think more people are just, oh, don't change my childhood. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up.
I thought
Actually,
it was.
I
I thought
actually
it was.
did a little bit of research and found out that there's some evidence that gives credence to her being black as a mermaid. So that was kind of interesting because it's based off Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
and Atlantis was technically off the coast of Africa
Mm-hmm.
near Morocco.
Yeah.
That's where it was said before it sank. So I mean, it's also close to Spain and England and all those other
Mm-hmm.
things, but I mean, it's closest to Africa and Morocco. So you can take from that what you will.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so
but I mean, also, it's one of the things where we get it back into it. It shouldn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I
it
mean,
really doesn't. Who
I
gives a
don't.
shit?
I mean, I can tell you that the only I've watched that movie countless times. I can tell you as a kid,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
can tell you it wasn't my favorite. Like, it's it doesn't really set with me like it will with other people. Like, I know it's mostly now it's these dumb white chicks that love this movie.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that. I'm sorry if you're a dumb white chick. You take that, and that's on you. But I mean, like the ones. I mean, like usually if you see a ghetto white chick with a mermaid tattoo, it's
Yeah.
because of that, And that's what I think about when I think about it. But anyway, the the Little Mermaid series is just not a thing I'm fond of. But I think it'll be great. But the problem is if they don't do it like the movie and they don't add sexual themes in it like they did with the show, because you have to think about it. Because
Like the penis
no,
that's
yeah,
sticking
no,
out of the
don't add that.
castle.
Don't add that. But I'm talking about like, well, I mean, Little Mermaid's already the most sexual cartoon of all time. Like, I when I did that when I
What do
did a
you mean?
report in college. One of my very first papers in Comp Two was my plot was I had to find the most sexual Disney movies, like innuendos, like they would use innuendos and stuff.
I gotta
And
go back and watch The Little Mermaid.
the Little Mermaid is very sexual because, for one, back in the day, they didn't do the whole no shirt thing. They didn't do the whole stuff like that. Then you also had Aladdin, and the penis didn't help anything at all either. Aladdin, in the for one of the very first songs in Aladdin, um, they're singing. One of the ladies is like trying to get Aladdin to come into her room while he's running
Yeah,
through the town.
I remember that.
There's multiple movies. Disney movies have so many sexual innuendos because of adults watching them with the kids, and I think it's gonna be hilarious. I don't think it's gonna be bad. I was very against live action movies, and the only reason I was against them was because I was in that phase of, you know what, this is stuff I grew up with, but then I had to think out of the box. Even with myself, I hate doing this bullshit because I had to do it with comic book movies. Comic book movies, if you're into something, I am a huge comic book reader, have been for years. And when you're a fanboy of something, you have to walk into it with a clear mind. You
Yeah,
can't walk into it with, okay, how is this going to go? Is this going to go this way? Is this going to go in the, you know, I, I've been saying for multiple years that you have to walk into something thinking it's going to be horrible
yeah.
and then just be surprised. And that's how people should walk into this. And I mean, I don't want to get too much farther on it, but we think it's going to be not bad. I think it's going to be great. Like I say, it's not one of my favorite series, so I'll watch it, but it's not going to be like something. And I'll probably take the kids to the theater because they like it and see what they like.
A friend of mine posted a hilarious like meme on it, and it basically just said, "Well, since Ariel's black now, Ursula needs to be white because only a white woman would take a black girl's voice." And
Yeah.
I fucking lost my shit.
No,
Like,
well,
oh, racist
there's a
humor. That's
meme.
funny.
It was a there was a there was a meme on Facebook that said, "Hold on, hear me out. And it had Ursula and it had Guy Fieri right beside Ursula. I was like, oh yes,
I could do that. I could do that.
because
I'd be so
because
happy.
of how he had his hair, and I was like, oh my god, that's great. The
Yeah.
memes are hilarious alone. I mean, I feel bad for her because she's a young kid, and I mean, I feel bad for her. And I thought it was funny that everybody thought it was Halle Berry that
Yeah.
was doing it. Wow. Well, I'm not
Well,
gonna lie. When I read the name, I was like, Halle Berry's way too fucking old. And then I was like, oh, it's not Halle Berry, it's Halle Bailey.
oh,
Okay.
Halle Bailey.
Halle
Okay.
Bailey.
I'm like, I've never heard of you. She's got such an innocent looking face. I love it. I think she's
I think
that that look is just perfect for that role because Ariel was so innocent and in the beginning, and it's kind of just a transformative movie. So I think it's good.
great. I think it's gonna be great. Um, that'll end up our we didn't go really far into the Bond talk, but we here at ADHD Gamer think Idris Elba would be an amazing Bond and make it happen. And me and I think it was me and one of your people actually discussed on there. They were saying that Tom Hiddleston would have been a great Bond, and I was like,
Yeah.
but I think he'd make a better villain. Like Tom Hiddleston now, after playing Loki, is like
Tom
straight.
Hiddleston's got that sickly look almost.
His villain stuff is mad. They've already didn't they announce already that Rami Malek's playing the villain in Bond?
No, they didn't announce it. He made a comment on it if he would be the Bond villain if this happened or whatever. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, he could pull off a
He
good
is.
villain.
He is.
You
I
know,
think he'd be a great. I think they should do something with hacking, and he'd be a great because he looks like a computer nerd.
well,
He
they already have.
oh well, I haven't watched any of the newer Bonds.
Oh no! The whole TV show. Remy Malik has a whole TV show called
Yeah,
Mr.
it's
Robot where he's a
Mr.
hacker.
Robot. Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I was saying. I think they should do that because that's what
Mhm,
he. But Remy Malik looks like a fucking computer nerd. Like you
mhm.
can look at him and like you know the difference between this and this. Like that's what he looks like, you know. So
He did such a great job in Bohemian Rhapsody. Like,
that's what I've heard.
dude, oh man, super good.
My,
If you like Queen, he did it justice.
that's what I heard. My wife loved it. Um, so literally 2 minutes after we got our about actually that's probably about 5 minutes after we stopped recording last week, some news came out about the release window of the PS5. This comes from Tyler Fisher over at comicbook.com. So we're looking at a holiday release date, which we figured for the PS5. We figured it was going to be sometime in the holiday of next year, but it's good to know now. So now we do. Now we do know we will be getting two new consoles in um, holiday 2020. Because we discussed last week about how Microsoft decided that they switched to one console. They were going to two consoles. Jonathan, can you do me a favor? Can you look for the statement from the Pokemon Company real quick? I forgot to pull that up. It's this. You'll just put Pokemon Company statement about Sword and Shield. You'll one of the first stories. You know who to go look for. Just pull that up for me. Anyway,
Mhm.
so we got the news last week about the Xbox only putting out. They were rumored to have two. The Lockhart, or the whole thing was going to be Scarlett, but then they had the code names of Lockhart and Anaconda. Anaconda being the biggest, Lockhart being the smallest.
It's the one about
Um,
the national index that came 7 days
yes,
ago.
yes, correct. Save that one for me. I'll have you read that statement in a minute from the gentleman. But the
Mewtwo looks like a badass.
yeah, Mewtwo does look like that. They're actually, speaking of that, their Mewtwo is supposed to be in a raid. An armored Mewtwo is supposed to be in a raid coming up in Pokemon Go. If anybody's interested in that. Well,
Yeah.
we went to Wikiwachi Springs yesterday, man, and my brother was so excited. My brother and his two friends went, and they were just playing raids the whole time while we were fucking there. We weren't out in the 60-degree water. They were just playing raids the whole time.
Yeah.
But and if you know how hot it is in Florida, then you understand how good that 60-degree water felt on my body when I got in.
My body.
All over your body, babe. Oh,
I'm gonna
listen,
get out from Jamiroquai.
little LSG for y'all. Little LSG for y'all.
My body,
Um,
your body. Sorry.
that definitely sounded a little bit like Pretty Ricky there, my buddy.
Uh,
But
Listen, dude, I can sing whoever I want to.
you
I'm
can.
just it's just a theme.
You are a thick white woman, and I fully agree with you singing whatever you want. You're
Mm.
welcome.
Well, then I'm gonna just do a whole podcast of me singing.
You should. I
Okay,
think that's a wonderful idea.
I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing everything.
While you're eating a gummy bear that's spicy. So
But
let's
we have
gotta
to
get
say
back
the
on track.
Pledge of Allegiance after 30 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's gonna be hard. I'll do it though.
Yeah.
Um, so this gives us good news that we will be getting at least 2 consoles in the end. In 2020 of next year. There is some this can actually segue into other news that we've gotten this week of Microsoft talking about how, or well, actually, Microsoft actually hasn't said it. It's just rumored that there's also a digital box that's going to be released for Scarlett sometime in 2020. If I don't know if it'll be, I know they just released the Xbox SAT edition, as we call it, the all digital edition, but the next year, if they release a streaming, it'll be a streaming box, if you will. So it may not have a disk drive. It'll be straight streaming. It'll probably be a hell of a lot cheaper. It'll probably
Hella
be.
cheaper.
It'll probably. I like your lingo. Um, it'll probably be a newer. It'll probably be a good model for young kids. I would think. If the kids that can't tell latency, maybe. We also here at ADHD Gamer have not had hands on with XCloud, so we don't know how bad the latency is.
I don't think many people have been
Well,
hands
yeah,
on.
anybody that went to E3,
Yeah.
anybody that went to E3 had it, so a couple thousand maybe. But from what we heard, there is a little bit of latency, but something that kids won't pay attention to.
Also,
So
this is early on in the process too.
correct. So they'll be having that. From what the rumors state is they'll be having that streaming box as well, which is smart. I mean, the all digital edition made no sense to me when they talked about it, and then I thought about it and I was like, well, now that we're getting into the X Clouds and stuff, I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? That was a model of let's see who the fuck will buy this,
We'll
and
call it
then
the age of streaming.
the age of streaming.
The
I
age of
like it.
streaming.
I like it. I really like what you did
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially this bit. That was nice.
Yeah, this
This bit.
I, what you do
Age of dreaming.
you do the Diamond Dallas page
Page
diamond,
yoga.
and then you just come apart.
Legit, hey man, listen, I lost quite a bit of weight with Sam. Every morning we were doing Diamond Dallas Page's yoga, and it always started and ended with, "All right, let's do the diamond. Raise it up, and you make the diamond with your hands. Raise it up, stretch it in the air, and then bring it down." And he's like, "Just whoa!"
That sounds like something DDP would do.
Yeah, he did, but it was freaking
Oh
good.
my god, that's hilarious. I haven't even seen it. I thought he was dead. All right, so sorry everybody, we had some technical difficulties there. Um, but we were talking about the streaming age, the age of streaming, the age of streaming. Sorry about that, my friend. I forgot you had that trademarked. The age of streaming. So we are having some technical difficulties there with internet connection, which goes back into the fact of the streaming thing. Is
Yeah.
this streaming shit gonna work? And I've got 100 megs down, which I'm pretty sure is about your normal nowadays. Well, at least in Florida, it's about your normal. So going back into this, so it's good that we'll get the PS5 releasing in holiday 2020. It's good to know that now. It's also good to know that I guess the Xbox will be having a digital box that will be out at that time, and it'll be, like I said, I'm sure it'll be a hell of a lot cheaper for you entry level people, and maybe PS5 people that just want a PS5, and maybe now you want to get some of those exclusive to the Xbox because I'm sure they'll have a lot more of this generation around because they have to. That's one thing they did really bad on. The only thing that sucked, I'm glad they went to this one console thing because I think that's what killed a bunch of people. I think, well, I mean, remember their Xbox One release didn't go bad. It didn't go great. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, they've been behind this whole generation, which of course they don't release the numbers. Microsoft said they won't release the numbers of how many Xbox consoles they've sold.
Do you remember when the Xbox 360 came out and they were having the console wars? Like there was websites, that had counters that counted exactly how many units were sold to see who was winning.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was like the dumbest thing. Like, are we really like I
Comparing.
mean, back then,
Comparing.
it was a little bit more culture that at that time to
Yeah.
see who was winning, but
Now it's
either was
crazy
stupid.
because you see these stories about them coming together and
Yeah,
doing different things. I mean, Microsoft and Nintendo are like freaking buddy. They're best freaking friends now. I
yeah,
mean, the only Sony's like the fucking older brother that's just a dickhead. Um, I mean that's what it is. I mean, you see them talking about crossplay. You see Microsoft and Nintendo going into it, and then you see Sony's like, that's the older brother that's just being a dickhead,
hmm.
And I mean, it's
Quit playing with my friends.
get out of my room.
My God.
We're stealing my porno mags.
Yeah, damn it. Beat me to that joke.
You're welcome.
Get out from
Uh,
under my bed.
get out from there. There's things under there you don't need to know. Okay, moving
What's this giant hole?
on. Why is there a hole in your pillow and mattress?
Why does this guy not have a penis?
Why is what? Never mind. We'll stop. So yeah, I mean, with this, I think it's good they have that because the entry level people it may bring them in. But the bad part, I'm glad they went to one console because if they would have went to two, when they do that two console or two editions of games and all that crap, it gets really confusing. Like a lot of it, like what do I get with this one that I don't get with this one,
Yeah.
type thing. And that's why I think it'd be good for this. And I'm ready. I'm ready for it. We don't know too much news on the Scarlett stuff or on the
Mhm.
PS5 stuff. And if anything says like it normally does, we should receive some like it did with the PS4 at least. We should receive some news on the PS5 in February.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure because of Microsoft being so far behind in this generation, there's no way that they can not release some information soon
Yeah.
or
I was gonna
after
say
something.
before the end of summer, they're gonna have something
They're
out
gonna have
there.
to. It would have to be March, April, or May.
Yeah.
One of those three times, which I would go more of April or May, but they would have to have something out. And that, well, actually, no, I wouldn't even say it's May because they're not going to do it a month before E3 because that's when they did it with the Xbox One and it was horrible. So I would even say they would have to go into March. As soon
Yeah,
as
but you remember what they did at E3? Like they gave us a bunch of stuff that we weren't ready for, and it was all sorts of like privacy things that people were worried about. That was the big thing, you know.
I mean, they to me they just sold this all in one console, and instead of being for the gamer, they were just all your all in one box for the living room. It'll play your TV, it'll do this, it'll do this,
I
it'll do.
I actually liked that part. It was just, oh, hey, your Xbox camera's always watching you. Oh, hey, you've got to do this, and
I
this.
mean,
And not like I care
I
that
mean
they're watching me.
the always on feature was the main
Yeah.
feature. The always on and the no you could not play used games feature was
Yeah.
big. I mean, those were two features that were like, okay, guys, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that's what people love about these systems.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, that was that. They just have to come out better this time. I mean, that's it. You got to come out better and discuss it and talk about it more and find out. Just figure it out. Do the best you can and do better. I don't even want to say do the best you can. Do better than what you did last time.
Yeah.
Because now you have to. There's no, I mean, because you need this to sell. I mean, Microsoft obviously has a shitload of money. They probably don't need it, but I mean, this is your brand. Your Xbox is your brand at this point. You
Mhm.
need it to sell, and the best way to get it to sell is to be there for the gamers and to give them information. And you have to beat PS5 out because right now Sony stole this whole generation. I mean, there's more than 100 million units sold. I mean, I think we're close. I actually now we might be at 90 something million, but on the PS4, and I happen to have one of them. So do you. Um,
Mhm.
and my brother has one now. But I mean, it's stupid not to have it, especially if you're a single player console gamer like I am. Like I love single player stories, and
Yep.
exclusives are the main thing that Sony has. They have the best. Like there's I have so many fanboys that are friends of either one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm an Xbox guy till the day I die,
Yeah.
but I am not scared to sit here and admit to you that if it comes down to who's got the better exclusives, I'd be stupid and ignorant not to tell you Sony. I mean, look at God of War. I mean, look at Spider Man. Look at give me another look at Last of Us. Look at Infamous.
I'll give it that. Last of Us and a
Jesus.
few
I
others
mean,
are
their
amazing.
their exclusives are. I mean, you look at Microsoft. They have a lot of like smaller exclusives, but they really only got think about ongoings. Halo, Gears,
Crackdown.
Crackdown, maybe. I guess you could put in there. Yeah. I mean, what else? Forza. That's it. That's all you have. So it's time. You got. That's why I like Microsoft buying a bunch of these studios, because now I think they're trying to bring that in. And now they're talking about Now they're talking about Playground, which is a second team of Playground, which is a team that does Forza Horizon. Excuse me, doing Fable. So that excites me because
before
I
it
love
was
Fable.
integration, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter as long as we had a lot of cross-platform games, they were making money. And now it's going to really, especially with the new consoles coming out and the streaming service, somebody's got to win. So what wins titles? Exclusives.
Yeah.
Think about when Blu-ray and HD DVD came out. You
Oh
know,
God.
yeah, yeah. When I'm talking about this,
I had that player. I
I
had
did
that,
too.
and it
I
did
did too.
nothing.
We both.
Did
And
nothing for 360.
it wasn't really an issue of quality or anything. It was what movies were exclusive to that, and we saw like it was kind of half and half in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, and
And
then
then
it
Blu- and
just
Blu-ray took over.
slowly trickled over to
And
Blu-ray.
and Blu-ray took over.
Yep.
I mean,
So
and it's funny because Blu-ray is a Sony product,
yeah,
and
I
it
think that's how they see it in marketing
yeah.
wise.
I mean, it's Blu-ray. There was no difference. There was a day and night difference, but
Mhm.
Blu-ray took over that battle, and that's this thing. I mean, I think Microsoft's going to beat out Sony this generation, this next generation? I'm going to go ahead and rumor it, or not rumor it, but go ahead and predict it and say no. I mean, there's too many fanboys of Sony to do. I mean, I'm most like I can sit here and talk shit about how I'm not going to get a new console and how I'm going to build my PC again, and I'm still going to go
Sure
probably
not.
go. I'm probably well, no, I'm probably going to end up buying both consoles next year
Yeah.
or the year after. I mean, and see that's what I do like about this, especially now. What I do like about this is back in the day, trying to get a 360 was you're the first 5 people in line. That's all you're getting on day
Yeah.
one. PS3, your first 5 people in line are day one. Um, Now they make so many because they know more people want them. So
Mhm.
now you're probably guaranteed to get one day one if you want one. I mean,
Yeah.
your pre-order has to be there, of course. I mean, Switch was horrible.
Hmm.
I mean, you had to pre-order a Switch if you wanted it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you know what? With this strategy, though, Microsoft may get neck and neck, and they may be thinking long term as far as, all right, well, if we can just keep ourselves level and we've got all these first party games, we can stay neck and neck with Sony. And then the next console, we're going to beat the hell out of people because we have all these first
we
party
could see that.
titles that everybody loves it.
I could see
So,
that. And let's
yeah.
hope they do bring out, because think about what new exclusives Microsoft's put out for the Xbox One since the Xbox One launch.
Yeah.
You can't really think about what new exclusives they've really had. It's still the same shit. We haven't even got Have we got a Halo this generation? Yeah, we got Halo 4.
Mhm.
We got Gears 4. Okay, so we did get the two main ones of that. Um but that's
Yeah,
it.
that does
So
irritate me a little bit that
it,
we didn't get a lot of
no.
everything.
I mean,
But
Xbox, but they've also always been big on this is the best console for you to play on. This is the most powerful console for you to play on. That's always been their niche, and they've stuck that. They have stuck to that. Xbox One X still is the most powerful console you can play on today.
yeah,
So, I mean, they have stuck to that. But I don't know how long that'll last for people, especially
yeah,
people like me that aren't graphical powerhouses, that I can play at 720p, I can play at 1080p, and it not give me any problem, and I can do that. That's why I think Stadia and all that really won't bother me, because I can play at 720p, I can play at 1080p. I don't
yeah.
need 4K. That's not what I need. I don't need a 4K box.
I mean, I want it,
Yeah, oh
but
yeah, I want
I
it, but
mean,
I don't.
really, you don't need 1080s
No, but
enough.
realistically, I thoroughly enjoyed God of War in 1080p
I
the same
thoroughly enjoyed it in 4K.
the same I would as in 4K. I mean, there's a bunch of games that I thoroughly enjoy in Red Dead 2. I thoroughly enjoyed in freaking 1080p, and then I probably would have enjoyed it the same or a little bit more in 4K. But I also am horrible at telling differences and things. Like I can't
Hmm.
like it.
Yeah.
Like I have to. It has to be side by side for me to look at and tell.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, oh,
Sometimes
okay.
it's very rarely. Sometimes it's just so crisp that I'm like, that's the 4K.
Oh yeah, no. If it's a crisp Christmas, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
like when I'm watching a YouTube video or I'm watching a stream of a streamer, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's 4K. That's I can tell that, you know.
Mike, as we were just talking a minute ago, I was sitting there thinking, man, I have been in too much to the gaming news for way too long that I'm making like marketing stuff, but we're having these like you and I both are having these just in-depth conversations about deep industry stuff. And you're like, yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. I'm like, I know way too much about this. I don't need to know how the gaming industry works or any of that to
No,
be a gamer.
no,
So,
you don't. But it's. I don't want to say it's
but I
what's
obsessed over the information so much
obsessed.
growing up.
I don't want to say. I don't even want to say upset. What's the word? You're fantasized. It's you're not
Yeah.
fantasized. Is that what I'm looking for here? You're
No.
what is it when you're what's the word I'm looking for here when you're God damn it, I can't even think about the goddamn word. But anyway, I will go with obsessed. Because obsessed is just I think it's a little bit rough, but you're obsessed with how it works because I am too. I love to know
Yeah.
how the industry works. I love to know how the developers work. I love to know how games journalism works. Like if I could go back thinking about this, if I could go back 13, 14 years, I
Magazines you had or something like that. I
I
had
can tell.
Nintendo Power, and I read every I had gaming magazines, and every gaming magazine I read cover to cover.
I had
You know.
OXM. I mean, I had official
Yeah.
Xbox
Yeah. Me
magazine
too.
back in
Yeah.
the day, and I mean, I could tell you that I had PC Gamer, I had that, and I would go. I didn't have subscriptions, but I'd always go get them from Walmart.
Yeah.
And see,
Me too.
and I could go. I can tell you that if I could go back 14 years, I would probably go to college for journalism and go for games journalism because
Mm.
hearing these people, don't get me wrong, is it a stressful job? I'm 1000% sure of that. I mean, hearing these people talk about it on podcasts, I mean, I'm sure it's stressful, but
You're
it's
also
something
doing your dream though, and
you're
something
doing
that
something
you're
you
naturally
love.
good at. Yeah.
And since we've started, I've talked about this, since we've started doing this podcast, I've found me, should I say,
Yeah.
because this is what I love. I love gaming. I love the news. I love the industry. I love talking about it.
Me
And
too.
being able to talk about it is something that not only is it fun and it's laughable,
Yeah.
it relieves the stress as we've discussed this week.
Yeah.
It
We did discuss this week.
we discussed this week. It relieves stress.
Hmm.
It takes your mind off of whatever you're thinking about, and it's lovely. You know, you
Yeah.
can discuss something that you enjoy, and this is something we enjoy. Um, but let's move on from that gayness there. Um, do you go ahead?
Heartfelt feelings about your life is just gay. Apparently. Apparently, that's a I'm gonna go talk to a few gay friends and ask them about how they deal with their emotions.
I was just
So
going with the young slang. That's how they discuss
that's so gay, man. I
it.
tell you what, that wouldn't take off like it did when we were younger. Like, I
People
mean,
couldn't.
that was it. When me and you were in high school,
Well,
constantly everybody's calling each other gay, whatever. And it wasn't like to be mean toward gay people.
no, it was just
It was
being
just like that was gay. And
being.
I understand how that can be hurtful, but
Oh yeah,
still, yeah. But
I'll tell
still,
you,
that was what it was.
kids
I had to
today.
protect myself from saying it.
Oh yeah, kids today would not have survived in the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. I mean, that's the truest meme I've ever seen in my life. I seen that meme the other day. I was like, oh my god, this is so true. Kids would not have made it back in the day.
You
Like,
could, you could do a meme of the top five types of Modern Warfare 4 players.
yeah,
Like
you could.
there's the screamer. He's like, "You fucking bear!" That guy, the one that's always like poking at you and trolling you, like, "Hey gay, hey guy, hey guy,
You
hey
always,
guy,
you
hey
always
guy."
got the guy with the background music. His music's
Yeah,
super loud. I hate that
yeah,
guy. I
you
mute
got
that guy.
that guy.
I always mute that
Yeah,
guy. I
or
always mute that guy.
or the child,
Yeah,
or
the child.
the
Or
child.
you got the guy that's too tactically into it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I mean, you could. I mean,
Hmm.
there's different things that you could do with that. So moving on, Jonathan, do you have the article pulled up that I asked you about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All right, so this right here we're going to is about last week we did last week or the week before we discussed about how the Pokemon company said that you will not be able to pull any or not all
you will
of your
not be
Pokemon.
able to catch them all.
Oh,
Oh.
I like it. So Pokemon Company discussed that you will not be able to catch them all, as Jonathan says. In the technically, it's not what he says, what they say. In the which is the whole aspect of all of Pokemon to catch them all. So Jonathan's going to read a statement here from Studio Head about how they do your best with the name, about their statement on why this is like this. Go ahead.
The quote said basically, "You can't catch them all," is literally what he said. Um, Kind of in a nutshell.
Just
Uh,
read, Jonathan, just read the whole quote. Just
well,
read the whole.
well, there's not a direct quote.
I thought there was a direct quote.
Nah, it just says it. The direct quote is, "You can't catch them all." Basically. So
I think there's a
the
quote there. Hold on. Pretty sure there's a quote there. It's from what's the studio head of Pokemon Company.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. Talk about yourself real quick. I'll find it.
Talk amongst yourself. Myself. Talk about to myself.
Yeah,
Um,
when you don't have people.
yeah, the Sword and Shield is just looking at, as I'm reading this. Um, that's basically the gist of it. And they have their own reasons for it, mainly because there's way too many freaking Pokemon out there. Um, I think they'll probably do DLC later. What do you think?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, they would be able. You would definitely be able to. Um, they'll definitely do adding more like patches and stuff, I would think. But I mean, people also got to realize, and see, this ain't a big deal for me. People, oh, here I got the quote. People got to realize that there's fucking 800 Pokemon now. It takes a lot of rendering for that shit,
Yep.
and it takes a lot of time. And they're in so big of this gaming crunch thing now, so where they don't want to kill. They don't want to kill these people, you know.
Yeah.
And all right, so the quote comes from Masuda-san, who is the one of the main Junichi Masuda, actually, which is the producer of Sword and Shield, issued a statement about all of this and says, uh, by the way, this comes from Adam Bankhurst over at IGN, so I credit so I don't get yelled at. Uh, Start quote. Thank you to all our fans for caring so deeply about Pokemon. Recently, I shared the news that some Pokemon cannot be transferred to Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Shield. I've read all your comments and appreciate your love and passion for Pokemon. Just like you, we are passionate about Pokemon, and each and every one of them is very important to us. After so many years of developing the Pokemon video games, this was a very difficult decision for me. I'd like to make one thing clear. Even if a specific Pokemon is not available in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, that does not mean it will not appear in future games. The world of Pokemon continues to evolve. The Galar region offers new Pokemon to encounter, trainers to battle, and adventures to embark on. We are pouring our hearts into these games, and we hope you will look forward to joining us on this new journey. And with that, it really doesn't answer the question of why they did it. It by the way, that was the end quote there. And
Mhm.
to me, that doesn't really state of why they didn't do it. But
Yeah.
the only thing, it's good they answered back to the people because that needs to happen more. More communication between the company, between the developer and the consumer needs to happen. But what I said is it should have came out immediately, like when the game released, like, hey, I'm just letting you know this is like this. And I think Pokemon is in a state where it needs to, I don't want to say start over. I kind of wish they would have just, hey man, let's create 150 new Pokemon and let's just make a whole new game because it
Yeah.
needs to. Pokemon needs to start over. Like
Yeah. Like a
it needs a
non-canon, like just start a
non-canon,
whole new canon.
yeah, or a new region. Just make a whole new region and add those Pokemon in. I know we just
Isn't that what
stated
they're
that
doing?
there's no, not really. I know we just stated there's eight. Well, it's in a new region, yeah, but they're still old Pokemon in there. You still get Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5 Pokemon, Gen 1 Pokemon in there. Um, I know we just said there's 800 Pokemon, so yeah, why add more, Mike? Yeah, but the thing is, now you're in a brand new game. You're in a brand new game with these 150 Pokemon, and then just tell people, you know what? There's 150 new Pokemon in here. You can't add any from your older games.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd be down with that. Like
see,
a whole
exactly.
new game in itself. That's actually a really good idea,
Exactly,
in my
because then
opinion.
then you have no then you have there's no ties. You don't need all your old Pokemon because now you can go find new ones. Go find your new Pokemon. Go find your best your new favorite out of
Yeah.
this gen.
You don't even need your same the same characters, same schema as
No,
at all as the original Pokemon's,
no, and
or
see that
or
and that
even an adult Pokemon game.
Oh,
They'll never make that. But still,
Misty Strip. Well, they do have them, but they're fan made,
yeah. Well,
and they're
I'm
quite
not talking
hilarious.
about Misty
Actually,
stripping.
they're quite hilarious because there is one where Misty's a stripper.
Oh, you see that thing where
Quite
Pokemon Red and Blue that has code for to be able to play in Fortnite?
No, I did
That I
not see that.
shared. Yeah. Apparently there's a code that you can technically play Red and Blue inside Fortnite. Somebody created it.
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right.
that's kind of fucking cool. I'll start playing Fortnite now.
Okay, that's be interesting to see.
Yep.
If you see that, let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll never download Fortnite. I'm sorry.
no, it's let me say something real quick. Y'all need to understand that when we talk about the Fortnites,
Talk about Fortnites.
when we talk about the Fortnites, it's not that I am hating on the Fortnites. I think Fortnite is a wonderful thing for gaming.
Absolutely.
I think when we talk about a game of the decade, I will tell you I think Fortnite should be a top 3 game of the decade because
just how innovative they are with the
exactly.
game.
And it's came out and look how many people it's touched, kids alone.
Yeah.
It's brought the streaming factor into more. We just don't like it here. I can tell you, I am not a fan of the Fortnites. I can't play the
Honestly,
Fortnite.
I've never played it.
I've played it, and I cannot play the Fort. I can shoot people all day. I can't
Mhm.
build anything. So, the Fortnites is just not something that I like. But the Fortnites is something that are good for other people, and I'm going to call this the Fortnites from now on.
The Fortnites.
The Fortnites. But like I said, you'll hear us talk shit about it, and that's fine. But that's just how we are because we have opinions, and
I mean,
we,
we just like shitting on things because it's funny.
and we think
But
our opinions
really,
are right
this
and yours are wrong.
exactly.
Thank you. See,
Thank you.
this is why we need Adam, so Adam can just be like Adam's like the PR guy.
Like, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Adam's like our PR guy. He's like the guy that's like, whoa, that's legal action there, buddy.
At the very least, just to help us make a decision on who's right.
Adam, who's right?
When we have that debate.
None of you are right. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, let's go on.
I don't remember what it was, but he was like, "No, I'm gonna have to agree with so and so on this because yeah."
Adam won't agree with me. He don't like me.
He won't agree with you.
No, even though I might be right, he's just like, yeah.
Nah, no.
Fuck that guy. Fuck
F
that
guy.
So there's that. Well, if you needed some kind of talk about your Pokemon stuff, guys, here it is. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I mean, don't get me wrong, they shouldn't announce it after Pokemon. The Pokemon Bank they discussed where you can bring all your Pokemon into one area.
Yeah.
But it is some kind of something for you about the status of that. And they're not saying you won't be able to bring every Pokemon in, but actually I guess they are, but you'll be able to bring some in, and I'm sure they'll be adding them as they go. You got to remember, Pokemon games last a while. Let's Go's been out 2 years at this point, and a year and a half maybe, and you'll be able. So they'll update it as they go. Apex Legends, Jonathan, have you got the new Battle Pass that came out July 2nd?
I did not get the Battle Pass. However, I have been playing Apex Legends, and they've got the new character, and I've not played her, but it seems like a good character.
Can
apparently.
You buy the new character without having the Battle Pass?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you could do that. Okay.
I mean, I haven't tried, but it looks like you can.
Her backstory is cool. I like that. I like the way they did her backstory about how her dad was the one that created the arena.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. I even though I know people don't care about backstories of characters, I'm one that does like lore. I'm a lore hound, as they called me, and I like the way they do. I do like the way they do things with that.
Apparently, she's works really well with Lifeline.
As far as
cool. Charging her drop somehow with her ult. So that's good. It's also a revive feature on her and something else. So
that's good.
It's a good character.
I've seen some of the skins. The skins look better. They're still not amazing, but they do look way better than they did in the first. And it looks like their drops on each level were different and they were better.
I would say it's 10 times better than what it was for sure.
I did see they added some emotes for when you're dropping.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was a cool thing. Nobody's done that yet, so that was awesome.
The map is completely different too. Like,
I
well,
haven't played in a while.
I mean, this regions are the same, like the way the buildings are supposed to be, but like there's a lot of collapses or like there's little stations. Like you remember that little cave that you went into
Mhm.
to get from one area to the other?
Yeah.
Like there's like a what looks kind of like a space like house
Okay, so they're doing the
set
Fortnite
right
thing.
there.
They're doing the
Yeah.
Fortnite thing of destroying stuff
Yeah.
and putting new areas, which is good. They should. That means they've only have the one map. So
And now those creatures are walking on land and they can stomp you and all other bullshit. So
oh,
oh yeah. That's a cool feature.
all right,
You can be in
okay,
a hardcore fucking fight and then just steps on you, you're done.
all right
And,
then.
and they make this weird noise like sounds like a brachiosaurus
It
from
sounds like a
Jurassic
bracket.
Park.
Sounds like Littlefoot's mom.
Yeah.
So
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 I
that's
like the
the
changes. It's
that's
positive.
that's good. And and if y'all have any news on the Battle Pass, please let us know and let us know how you like it. Let us know how you're enjoying it.
You can shoot
Um,
straight to ADHD Gamer if you want.
yeah, right. I
We'll
mean,
take a look at it.
right into us. I mean, it let us know. We might even bring you out as a little feature on the show. Good thing to do this now, because if you do it now while we're young, you never know when we become massively famous when we're 65. You might not be able to come on the show.
65.
We're gonna be doing this for 30 years.
We're gonna change it to geezers in gaming.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Geezers Gaming.
Geezers in gaming. That's gonna be so good.
We'll call it the OGG. Old Geezers Gaming. I like it. Damn, we should have called that. We are no longer ADHD Gamer. We are
We're
Old Geezers
geezers.
Gamer.
We're gonna dye our hair, grow like gray beards. It's gonna be good.
I don't know about growing. Mine's already growing massively gray, so it's just a bunch in here. Dude, I pulled one of these
Especially
out the other day.
for me.
I pulled one of these out the other day. Well, actually, it fell out while I was washing, and put it on the wall because you know how hair sticks to the wall in your shower. So I put it on the wall. 10 inches. 10 inches. It's getting long. It's getting long.
Not a lot of people.
No, not a lot of people can say that,
Not a lot of people can say that they have 10-inch
especially white.
hair.
Especially
Yeah.
white.
Oh yeah, especially
Oh,
white
you were
hair.
talking.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're back on
Oh,
this. Here we
oh, my bad.
move on.
Your laughing's jiggling the camera in a really like wop
No,
wop wop
it
wop.
was that. That's my foot because I can't keep my foot still.
I keep doing the same thing with my desk.
I can't keep my leg still. I have a
Like
problem with that.
I keep propping my foot up on like the little rest that's below it for the printer. My
I
desk.
don't I don't believe in like syndromes. Well, I do, but I mean I don't have any that I know of, but restless leg syndrome is one that I have. Like I shake my leg constantly when I'm doing something, not because I'm nervous, just because it's what I fucking do. All right,
I've got to move.
so PS Plus games for July have came out. They had in the beginning it was PES, which is Pro Evolution Soccer 2019, which is from Konami, and then Horizon Chase Turbo, and there was a big outlash from fans. Fans did not want PES, so they took PES out and put the Detroit Become Human Deluxe Edition in, which was an awesome idea because that also comes
I
with
love that game.
that also comes with Heavy Rain. I have not played it, so I get to play it now, which is lovely because I didn't want to pay for it. Um, and
It's not a game that it's not like action. It's
no,
one of
it's
those
like a
decision based.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like Heavy Rain, the same creator. And I
But
mean,
the story is fantastic.
that's how Heavy Rain. If it's anything like Heavy Rain,
Yeah.
Beyond Two Human was I couldn't play it, but I mean,
The
Heavy Rain
mechanics are better.
Heavy Rain was so good. God, I loved Heavy Rain. I mean that just finding that Origami Killer was so amazing. I loved Heavy Rain.
Mhm.
So this was and Konami says that Sony was the one that wanted this whole feature. That Konami did not take PES out for all you Konami PES fans. This was a Sony thing. Sony said, "Yeah, fuck that, guys. Our fans fucking hate us now, so we need to put something in there that matters." So
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
there's nobody over here in the States really. I mean, I don't want to say nobody. There's a lot less people over here that care about soccer than over in
Yeah.
the European region. Um, so I mean, like this PES would have been one of the things where I didn't really care too much for. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good, but I don't care too much for it. So this now I get to go get Detroit Become Human and play it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Mhm.
The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, actually, let's before we go into that, I want to talk about Sony searching for first party studios to buy. Um, which also will lead us into the fact of Remedy.
Talking about Sony or Xbox?
No, I'm talking about Sony. Sony's searching
Okay.
for them. Sony's trying to get some. I don't want to say first party studios, but they're trying to buy studios. They might not be buying massively
Trying
big
to get on
studios.
that Xbox game.
Well, you have to. I mean, you got. I if anything, I mean, I think a smart buy would be for them to look into buying Remedy. The only reason I say Remedy is because Remedy just got that Alan Wake publishing license back. They could get Remedy, and now Alan Wake comes to not only Microsoft, it comes everywhere now. And now it's coming to Xbox. Now it's coming to PS4. And
I really loved Alan Wake. So
there are a lot of people that loved Alan Wake. I loved Alan Wake. I can't wait for that damn Blair Witch game because it looked just like Alan Wake. So I'm super excited about that, and I think they're going to get some big studio or some smaller studios and make really big games out of them, because that's what Sony does. They've announced something a while back that said their single player game is their story driven game. Their narratives is what they will stick to. It's not going away anytime soon, which is awesome. Keep doing that. That's what video games are about to me.
Yep.
Video games are not. Don't get me wrong. Is multiplayer fun? Multiplayer is amazing, but video games are not about multiplayer to me. Video games
multiplayer is used to enhance a game.
Exactly. If now, don't get me wrong, if you're a multiplayer only game, that's awesome. That's cool. And say that. Like Call of Duty not having a campaign this year was horrible because Call of Duty campaigns are normally my favorite thing about Call of Duty. So that's awesome. And I'm glad Sony's doing that. And I'm hoping they find some good studios. Remedy would be one I would like to see them get, especially because Remedy just makes awesome games. I mean, Max Payne, and then what's the episodic one? The one that had all the episodes in it. Quantum Break.
Oh, that was so good. I really enjoyed that.
I gotta play it. I gotta go back and play it. God, my fucking library just keeps, or my backlog just keeps building and building. Yeah, I'm not gonna play everything I want to before I die. I'm just gonna die.
At some point, the games are going to be too old for you to play them.
Yeah, I mean that's how a lot of them are now. I mean the Witcher 1 was hard, dude. God, it was so hard to stick with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I took everything in me to stick into that game because it didn't have controller support. There were certain things like, God, it was hard. Yeah. Last of Us Part 2 will end us out here. So we had rumors that it would be out February 2020. Now we got some really good information about it being released in February 2020. Just so everyone knows, a release date has never been announced for this game.
Yeah.
Just so everyone's clear on that. It said that it was rumored for 2019 and they were expecting 2019, but it is never.
That was a lot of speculation by gaming companies or gaming magazines and all that other stuff. So
yeah, and I mean 2020 makes more sense. I mean, Last of Us original came at the end of a cycle for PS3.
Yeah.
And Last of Us 2 would make sense to come at the end of the cycle for PS4. And I think it's going to be wonderful. I can't wait to play it. I cannot wait to shoot some bitches. And it's going to, I mean, Last of Us is a top 10 game of all time for me. So I'm really
Last of Us was probably the first game that I immediately finished the game and then I played it a fucking again.
I cried. I cried.
Oh, dude, super emotionally.
I don't think I had ever cried in a video game until I played Last of Us. Like it hit me. Like at the end, I was like, "Oh, what are these? What is going on?"
Even the rest of it. Like, what's the part where he gets captured or whatever?
Yeah.
And no spoiler alert, whatever. He gets captured, or she thinks he's gonna die, and so she's out there protecting him and doing all the hunting, and that was like a gripping because she was like stressing about him and all this other bullshit. Or the arguments they had back and forth.
I think one of my favorite parts of that game is when you're walking through that school or when you're walking through that area and you see the giraffes, and it's just everything just looks so good and it's so peaceful. It just shows the peacefulness of that world, and it was a very exciting thing.
Did you play the alternate?
Yes.
Storyline. Yeah. Not storyline, but it was like
it wasn't alternate. It was like
a friend. The kid with
her and her friend, and showing the kid ended up getting bit or something at the end. Yeah, it was super good. I enjoyed that. So Jonathan, you want to before we end this here, you want anything you playing right now? Anything you want to discuss? Anything you want
Um,
That's really all I have on the notes here.
I started playing elsewhere for Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
So I haven't gotten very far in it just because I haven't had time. But I decided to play a little bit of that. That's been actually pretty good. I've been enjoying that. The new world is pretty good. It's very Khajiit heavy, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, Apex and Cadence of Hyrule was really the only thing that I played. I went ahead and started playing, replaying that.
Okay, that's
So,
awesome. Um, so I beat Witcher 1, like I've said.
mhm.
I'm on The Witcher 2, playing Witcher 2 right now. I had a credit on my account, so I got the Nickelodeon kart racing game on the Switch for me and my daughter and my wife to play, and we stayed up last night for about 2 hours playing it, and it was a blast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I forgot to mention Mario Maker 2 is
oh
the
yeah,
kid got that for the kids as well, and that's actually really fun.
I've seen a bunch of people posting videos. My buddy Eric's always posting videos about stuff he's playing, and it looks really good. Like I would love to play it. I'm just not massively big in creating stuff, and I don't know if I can. So I could if I tried. I don't think I'd have the time with all the other stuff I want to play. Um,
It takes a while to make them.
so are you still pretty solid on your game of the year so far?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That hasn't changed yet.
I believe you said Apex for yours. I would. Apex is actually a top three for me because it changed a whole genre, a whole big genre of things. Um, I kind of agree. It's a top three for me as well. My game of the year will not win game of the year. A Plague's Tale: Innocence, which I've said multiple times, is my game of the year. And if anybody says wrong, then you're wrong. But it is a wonderful game, and I really think everybody should go play it. But anyway, I am still playing The Witcher 2, and I will let everybody know when I am done. The Witcher 1 was amazing. Combat system was shit. But it was a really fun game, and I enjoyed it. The storyline was good. It told a good story about Geralt, like we discussed earlier. Um, do you have anything else, buddy?
Nope, no, I think that's it.
Okay. We're sorry for the short news week, people, but you can't blame us. You can kind of blame everybody else. The gaming industry needs more
Blame
fucking
the
leaks.
industry.
Blame the goddamn industry. Hopefully, we'll get some good news this week where we can bring to you guys. And if the show sounded kind of everywhere this week, it's because it was, but that's normally how we do. But it sounded a little bit more everywhere to me. It's been a stressful week for myself and stressful week for both sides, actually. So it's been kind of like we didn't even know if we were going to do this today.
Yeah.
So
Like when is it not a stressful week
yeah,
for the both
but
of us?
this week's been a little. I feel like week's been a little bit more stressful for both of us. So it's kind of from things that we both know. So it's kind of like, well, did we want to do this? We weren't going to do it, but we decided to because for you,
Yeah, it wasn't for us. For you, that one person that's watching right now.
all two of you,
All two of you, and that
I,
one guy that made it to the end.
and my wife is one of them. So no, we once again thank y'all for sticking with us. We're hoping this takes off. Maybe not super big, but we're hoping it goes slightly big enough where we can
At
do.
least have a few people watching.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have some people that enjoy and have good conversation and good arguments and good debates. It'd be fun. I really enjoy that stuff. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Want
Thank you guys.
Want to thank you for watching. Jonathan, ADHD Gamers. Have a good
ADHD gamers. See you later.